waiting for this medication, another one of my doctors came to see me, and she was just coming to check up on me, and I said to her, you know, what about this CAR T cell that I've heard about? And she's looking at me and she goes, you know what? She goes, I think there's a clinical trial that just started not long ago in Ottawa. So that's what we did. We found out Dr. Kektri's information, and she said it's not without risk. There's very high risk. They said there's neurotoxicity risk and cytogenic release syndrome, which she said could be very dangerous, but she also told me you don't really have much of an option. It was pretty much, you're either going to die or you might die. From there, they took my cells, and on September 15th of 2021 is when they put those cells back in my body. And I stayed at the Ottawa Hospital for a month afterwards, recovering from that process, which was difficult, but not even close to as difficult as after stem cell transplant. And yeah, so after a month, my count started to come up, my immune system started to come up, and they said, you know, we think it's safe enough for you to go home now to see your daughter. And now here I am, and there's still no evidence of disease. So I'm cancer-free.
When the cancer is gone, and no one really knows, okay, what's next? Are they cured? Should we do something more? Do we need to give them more treatment? Do we need a transplant? And these are the questions now that we're dealing with. Who should get the CAR T therapy? And is that enough? Should you do something additional after that? Which is just amazing that we have this question, because these patients, you know, they would never survive without the CAR T therapies.
I'm asking you real questions. You can answer truthfully. I was doing things that I never thought I could do again. I did, we call it treetop trekking, where we do zip lining and climbing things, trees with my daughter, and I did a 5-kilometer mud girl race with my family and friends on my actual 1-year anniversary to show everybody how strong I had gotten. Because again, it was a miracle.
That the CAR T cells are challenging, you know, what used to be the standard of care therapy. So it might very well be like that, you know, you can start treating patients with CAR T cells earlier. At least I would assume that would, you know, increase the probability that the CAR T cells will be even more efficient when it comes in a little bit earlier.
Стояла буквально на коленях, чтобы у нас была возможность. Ну вот месяц нам пришлось ждать места. Все это проходит за 2 недели. Первую неделю готовят клетки, незначительная химия идет, потом отдых, потом идет забор клеток. Простая процедура, своими жалобами, там все эти клетки работали, фильтровались. Дальше пришла медсестра и сказала, ну, вы будете присутствовать, я вот в клетке ввожу. Вот, и тут тоже я обалдела, потому что я думала, что это какой-то, ну, не знаю, там сейчас ленту придут разрезать, что-то торжественное, все придут, врачи будут смотреть. Вот, а это вот такой шприц, и ну, 10 минут там смотрите за ребенком. И потом мне неожиданно сказали, что можете идти домой. Ну, раковых клеток, ну, пока что у нас, да, мы сегодня результат получили очередной, буквально.
В выписку именно функцию и все, я поняла, что будет дермикоза.
We have incredible complete number of patients who have responded to the treatment, and what we call complete response. That in patients with acute lymphocytic leukemia, we got more than 80% complete responses.
Cancer is still ubiquitous in millions of tweets and posts, in the press and mailing lists, in online media and social networks, on stages, in books, in hundreds of movies. But the attitude towards the merciless disease is evolving. Patients with refractory leukemia and lymphoma now have a greater chance of winning the battle. And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
CAR T cells are also not only used for cancer, but other diseases, such as autoimmune disorders, such diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis or lupus or multiple sclerosis. Others are developing CAR T cells for severe infections. And yet others are exploring the use of CAR T cells to solve problems in transplantation.
The success of the CAR T cell therapies has really ignited now the interest of many researchers who are evaluating the CARs in different cell types. They're actually looking at other cell types of the immune system, such as macrophages, natural killers, and other type of lymphocytes. They are seeking to identify cheaper sources of cells, more efficient, and for that they've been thinking about not only using the patient cells, but also cells derived from artificial stem cells. This new approach will enable to produce many doses of cells instead of one patient, one dose. Yeah, another area of intense investigation right now is new tools and platforms for manufacturing the cells. And we now see actually aerospace engineers being involved in the design of these new automated bioreactors, developing softwares and digital technologies that will help automate the process.
The next challenge now is to figure out how to get these sort of new age Coley's toxins to work in solid tumors. Recognition by the Academy and by these prestigious institute is really a crowning moment today. Really energized my team, students around the world, and others who have now become interested in using engineered cells as drugs. A little bit of history before moving into more recent aspects of this field. I think this therapy is relatively radical. I'll use a word, subversive. How many minutes do you give me to answer that?
I don't know, 3, 5,
1, 5, 10, or 50? 3 minutes, okay. This changes every month, but there are about 20 CARs, different targets investigated in the clinic today. There are in the US 40 biotechs and big pharma now with CAR programs. For me and for Dr. Gairdner, this is the goal of a lifetime, and it goes against the culture of the pharmaceutical industry, and it does not align with the culture of many hospitals. Well, I turned to some definitions for this, and Thomas Kuhn. When the paradigm fails to provide and a new powerful model arises, but for us it's cell and gene technologies. So when these arise, they have a greater explanatory force, and for us that means curative potential, then we are on the verge of a paradigm shift.
From my parents, I've always seen how ambitious they are and how important they think it is to help other people. I mean, their whole life is dedicated to helping other people. I see how hard they work, I see how much they do, how much effort they put into it. And I mean, I don't think everyone should do that. it's really special, and it's not for anything materialistic. It's truly because they care and they want to do this, and I think it's really special even for me to be able to see that in my parents.
The High Line evokes many things for us in New York. Of course, it's about urban aesthetics, it's about the history of New York City, and it's about the juxtaposition of nature and civilization. And of course, this has inspired our work in cell engineering. As I see it, we learn from nature, we observe, and then we try to improve upon it, but respecting it.
The man who changed the paradigm. Years of struggle and disappointment are hidden behind this outcome.
Let's not worry about that too much, and let's just focus on the next paper and the next patient. I'm just the warm-up band here. Is the real band ready?
It is now hard to imagine how during the first 15 years there was no confirmation, no proof that he was on the right path, a path he pursued day after day. What is the reason for his success? Fortitude? Seeing what others could not see, relying on scientists of the past, on the support of those close to him, resisting prevailing dogmas and power. This list is hardly exhaustive. He persevered where others would have given up long ago. He believed that truth